Okay, so this is from my week 7 website, but for week 8, I believe we had to go back and apply CSS to a week 7 project. So um, I ended up making 3 different style .css attached to the different HTMLs that um, with my website with the 3 pages you can click onto. So with the index being the home page, if I go back, um, is in this one. So for me to link the CSS to the HTML page I wanted styled, I would have to put use the tag link style sheet and href styles.css um, and attach that to my HTML file. So here, look at this one. So the first one, I went ahead and changed the background by styling. So the body, which is the basically the background of the page, I changed the background color to aqua. So if you go to my web page and people go to it, it's going to be in a aqua background. And then heading 1. So if we go back to my index, heading 1, um, that's basically the title of my page. I do have a class which is shadow text. I could have went back to here and instead of H1, I could have put shadow text, and then it actually would change the text to the title, which is Final Fantasy Job Classes. Um, I just left it alone. I didn't want to change that one. Um, but I did put a border around it. Um, made it solid. Made the border color um, goldenrod. I changed the radius so it actually circles out because if you don't put the radius, it just makes more of a box instead of like a rounding. And then the color of the words in H1, I changed to blue violets. And then my div, which would be my borders here. So I don't have a div 1 or div 2. So like, it just took the div on each portion, which is where my contact is or contact us is, and then the HTML that you can click onto. I put a border around that, changed the style to dashed, and made it blue violet as well, and made the radius 5 pixels. The form, if I go back here, apologize for all that long text. Um, so form is just like I said before, it's the contact us portion of my page, and basically I just put a border around that, dashed again, and change that. Um, my first page is pretty basic. I didn't really change much. So if we move on to my about page, though, I did go ahead and do a little bit more. So I actually added wording under my about page. Um, I did give it like a shadow text, and I put a boxing around my lists, and then I also put a hover style over it. So every time you go over like a job class's name, it will actually highlight in blue violet over the ones that you're currently like hovering over. Um, so if we go to my about, again, same thing, link tag, but this time href is attached to styles -2. So I had to make a different styles CSS to this one. Um, Same thing again. So here I put class equals shadow text, ID equals large paragraph, and then I was able to, when I went to styles 2, I was able to make a adjustment to the shadow text and make an adjustment to the large paragraph. And then I was able to add something to that. And then for my list, I use a tag UL and CSS. I made a border style, made a border radius for it. And then the LI for the actual list, I made a background color. So when you do hover over this, it is going to be that blue violet color when you're hovering over it. And again, I'm for all three of my HTML files, I did just go ahead and make them all aqua, so every page is going to be aqua. Cool thing about my large paragraph though, I did change the font size, I did change the font style, which I made it italic, and I changed the text shadow, which is goldenrod. So then they have like a nice like goldenrod color behind the text, which is pretty cool. Moving on to my details page, I believe I did, yeah, I did add like a little bit more to this one. So some similar things. Again, tag link href equals style -3 CSS. On this one, I do have a table, so I added a little bit more stuff to work with, which is pretty cool. I did make a box model on the bottom. I changed the headings for both of those, H5, H2, and then I went ahead and made my the last sentence in there, which is "Good luck, warrior of light." I put that in bold with the B tag, and made its own separate div for that. So, and the styles 3, so the body again aqua, so the entire page is aqua color. The H3, which is the top, my bad, is the top. I gave it a goldenrod color when you go over it, so just kind of give like a cool, like I did make a border for it, which is pretty cool. But I wanted to have it where if you went over it, it did have a hover effect to it, so it changes on the goldenrod when you hover over it. For my list though, I did give it padding, a text align, and then I gave it a border bottom, which is blue violet. So like you can't see it when you hover over it. I did give it the effect of, you know, when you hover, it does give you the blue violet cover. And I believe if I did want to, I could change the opacity. Not really. I still gotta mess around with that. It's not final, but I could mess up with the opacity if I really want to. But okay. But yeah, so my TD, which is the actual list right here under the TH, um, they're gonna hover instead of blue violet. For my box model, which I created in my details tab, so I made ID equals box model, you know, and then I put the text that's going to be within that box model. So when I went to CSS, I was able to customize my box model the way I wanted it. So I gave it padding, border style, border width, a margin, background color, and a border radius as well. And then I was able to actually play around with this. And, just give it some detail. Um, Pretty basic. So from here, I was able to create a class, an ID, and a element. And any feedback would be nice. Thank you.